Satnam, Namaste. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Mark Swan, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a lesser known planet gong, one on the very fringes of sound healing. And it's behind me here, and it's a 32-inch pasty gong, and it is Nibiru, N-I-B-I-R-U. If you play it at the center, the fundamental tone will resound at 161.2 hertz in the musical tone of E. Nibiru is a planet gong, and in order to make a planet gong you need certain empirical information. You need to know the time it takes to go around the sun in our solar system, and because it comes around every 3,600 years, it's clearly depicted in Babylonian cuneiform stone tablets. You can see it there on their star maps. So they believed they'd seen it all those years ago, but we've never seen it. No one's ever seen it. It remains in the borderland, the hinterland of legend and myth and real. So it's a very odd, esoteric healing frequency that not many people get on with, not many people want to engage with. It's complicated, it's complex, it's very bossy in the way it wants to be played. But what it does is it works on the DNA, it works on the reproductive system, it works on your chromosomes, it tweaks, changes, upgrades, and all through the energy of its musical tone. There is a race of extraterrestrial beings who live on Nibiru. They came to Earth 120,000 years ago, put their DNA, spliced their DNA in with our DNA, and this is where we get the sudden spike in our development, where we start to use agriculture, mathematics, medicine, all sorts of things. We just suddenly start to do it, and it's always confused anthropologists and archaeologists as to why this spike occurred. Babylonians are very clear on it. The Anunnaki came down, and in order to make us into a malleable workforce to mine gold, which they needed for their technology in the Euphrates Valley in Africa, they spliced their DNA into us, and we went from knuckle-dragging apes into the fabulous beings that we are now. So it's almost like intelligence was an infection. Intelligence was a program that had been put into us so that we would be able to be used as a workforce. You can go into a very, very deep click hole if you put Nibiru or Planet X into the internet. There is a lot of information out there. How do we get this gong? It's really interesting because as no one's really seen it or measured it, you need very specific information to be able to put into the formula created by Hans Cousteau, the German physicist, in order to make a planet gong. They literally beat that frequency and that tone worked out through his formula into the surface of the gong, measure it with electronic measuring equipment, and then it can be called a Jupiter gong, a Saturn gong, etc. But the information to make a Nibiru gong was actually channeled by an American healer back in the late 70s, early 80s, and she gave that information to Pasty, and they accordingly made the Nibiru gong. When you play this gong, you go into gong space in a very specific way. You merge with it, and it's really out there. It likes to be played in a very specific way. I find I can only play it in one particular way. I can't play around with it and explore it. It's like, you play it this way and that's what we're doing, that's where we're going. So I will play it in the way that I play it. I've never had any complaints. A lot of people like the way I play it. You'll hear me play it now, we'll see what happens. For me, it's the mothership taking off. So if you've got buds or over-ear headphones, put them in, lay back, shut your eyes, and let's go flying. I'm going to be using a pair of solid wooden mallets. You need a very, very hard retort strike on the gong to create the sort of frequencies, sounds, vibrations that it requires, basically. So, as ever, it is my intention to play for the highest good of your higher self. That's my entire remit with healing gong. So I hope you get some healing. Thank you.